Okay, my name is Amethyst Treleaven and this is reading number 785 for JP, Psychic Ogham reading 785. Now JP, we're going to have a look at all of your Ogham staves here, and I'm going to start it off with this one here for you, and we'll do a little bit of a circle. So this one here is ivy or gort, and this themes all of your reading here. Ivy is about tenacity and hanging on and being patient, and but it's also about, I guess, covering up the sadness a little bit as well. So for you, the last few years have been fraught with frustration, and it's been a time when you've had to be very patient, and you've put on a brave smile for a number of people, but underneath that smile you've really been quite sad on occasions, and to a lesser extent that will continue in the future, because it's almost become a habit with you that you put on that brave smile even though things underneath aren't going well. But one of the good things about ivy that themes this entire reading for you is about your bravery, about your tenacity, and also about your strength. The other thing with ivy that's really good, that themes this whole reading, and we'll pick up on this more here, is that this is about success. No matter where you are, ivy will tend to survive, and you will survive. So we'll pick up on that a little more as we go through your reading. Now, over here, these three staves here talk about the past 6 months, the past year or so, and this one that we're picking up here now is aspen or Aedean. And aspen is one of those, I guess, it's about fear, it's about being suppressed, it's about living life but not being able to live it to the full. So for you, particularly in the last year, you've been itching to get out there and do more, but you haven't been able to. You've been suppressed, you've been held down, and that kind of themes that last year for you. And because you've been suppressed and held down as much as you haven't been able to blossom as you have wanted to do. Now these two staves here, we have holly or Tonya on the top here, and we have you under here. Now you is very much about transition and change, and that's about changes that have happened within you, and that you have had to deal with. And they haven't all been changes that you have wanted to achieve either. For you, this has been a lot about realisation. So it's not necessarily about self-growth, but it's about realisation of the gap between where you have been and where you want to go. Now that is brilliant, because you are now in a better position to be able to say, well, okay, this is where I want to be as a person, and you're much more able to get there now than if you had no realisation at all. So that's really good. Holly is very much about challenge, and it's about obstacles, and it's about things being in the way. And so of course this whole last few years for you have been one of deep frustration. In the middle here we have gorse. This is in the position of what's happening for you right now, and really for you it's about treading water right now. It's about maintaining the status quo because you're not quite sure about what's going to happen in the future. You mentioned that you want a new job, but that you're still in your current job, and with the other emotional events, legal events that are going on in your life, this is very much about an inability right now to make leaps and changes in the future, because you're kind of treading water until all of these things, these changes come to pass. But let's focus here, because this is where we really want to know what's going on. Now, this is a fantastic Ogham stave that I'm really pleased to see here, and this is Muin or vine. This is very much about harvesting what you reap. It's about seeing the rewards for the hard work that you put in, and this themes the whole of your future reading, the whole of your future Ogham staves over here on this side. Now this is really good, because what it says is that as long as you have laid the foundation for the outcomes that you want, you will get the outcomes that you want. This is a really positive stave. So for you, those last few years have been about being patient, you've been frustrated and you've been held back, but you do have goals about what you want to do, and it says that in the next 12 months they will come to pass. So that's fantastic news. And again, we'll expand on those in the future. Now, this is Alder or Fien under here, and over the top of this is Beth or Birch. This is brilliant stuff again. Beth in particular, or Birch, is very much about new beginnings. It's about new experiences. It's about taking the bull by the horns and going for it. Now that's not going to happen for a couple of months, but it will happen from about August, September, October, November onwards. Lots of new experiences coming your way, including a new job, potentially a new place to live for you as well. It's very important during that time, though, that you take appropriate advice, particularly legal advice in the legal situation that faces you in July. Really important that you heed the advice of advisors for you, otherwise you may well be in an outcome that you could have avoided. So I really encourage you to invest in good quality advice for that. Also really important to listen to people who have your health welfare in mind as well, and I encourage you to go and talk with a specialist about career changes as well, because they're going to have some ideas for you that you actually haven't thought about. And that's tied in also with these new experiences that you're going to have in the last quarter of the year. It's going to be a really exciting time for you. Now, sitting underneath all of that is blackthorn or strafe, and strafe is I really don't like this Ogham stave, and it kind of underpins the next few months of your life, but it underpins the next 6 to 12 months. So this kind of balances out this one. This says the next few months for you are going to be annoying, they're going to be frustrating, and they're really going to test your patience. Now that's in terms of job hunting. It's not going to go the way that you had expected it or hoped that it would go. But remember, be patient, because this one here is going to come to the fore. This next 3 months for you then is about gaining experience in having interviews, gaining experiences in finding the right job. It's about taking the stepping stones to becoming everything that you are capable of being, so that you're ready when the right job comes along. So it's also going to be frustrating in terms of legalities for you as well. So again, it's really important to listen to the advice of those people for that outcome that you really need in July. It's also about the ongoing frustrations with your ex-partner, who continues to be the way he is because he is angered by what has happened and because of his own insecurities. What's really important here is that you do not take on his insecurities and his frustrations. You are bigger and better than that. And remember that, because this tells us that is the case. As does this, you are a survivor. You are better than the responses that this person encourages you to give. This person encourages you to be less than you are, but we know that you are a survivor and you can absolutely power ahead. Okay, so where are we in terms of all of this then? There is a new job for you, absolutely a new job for you, but it's towards August, September, that kind of time. possibly even insofar as October. And what I'm seeing is that there's a bit of a long trend between when you find the job and when you start the job. So there's several weeks in there. But it's a job that will challenge you a little more than you expected. Run with it. You put the hard yards in, you will get the result. You know you will, because that's what Ivy and Gort is all about. And Mewen or Vine says that you will get the results as well. So while that new job is going to be really quite challenging and daunting for you, you can do it, you will do it, and you will love it as well. So go for it. In terms of possibly a new relationship, I don't see anything in here at all about a new relationship inside the 6 months. However, I do see the potential for a new relationship, a really good, nurturing, supportive, loving relationship for you, but it's in 2014, the second half of 2014. So this is very much a time for you to blossom once you get the new job that you will start around the beginning of October, and once the court case is completed in July. Just as a little addition to that court case in July issue, there's going to be a couple of dribble-ons from that. What do I mean by that? I mean that it won't absolutely be completed in July. There's another couple of weeks, potentially anything up to 8 weeks after that, before the end is completed. So be aware again that there may be frustrations, but remember, you will succeed. The last half of the year for you is going to be tremendous, and you will survive, because you always do, and because you are incredibly capable. That's what these two staves are saying. You are amazing. Don't you forget it. In the last half of your year is going to be sensational. Now, what also came up for you was the Druid Animal Oracle card of Hare. Now, this is really interesting for you. Hare is a fabulous little animal, and it's very much about intuition and rebirth. Now, rebirth for you is really valid, because remember we talked about Beth or Birch, which was all about new experiences, and the last half of this year for you is very much about a rebirth, and rebirth into a new life, one where you feel much more at peace. Hare is also a master shapeshifter. So remember how Ivy talks about you always surviving and you always coping. That's what Hare does. Hare copes, Hare survives, because Hare is resourceful and able to look at the situation that he is in and run with it. So that's what both of those do. He's also, of course, in the Druidic tale of Taliesin. And Taliesin takes the form of the hare to escape from Caredwin. So Hare is very much then, it's the symbol of rebirth into new beginnings. Of course, we've got Beth or Birch here again, and into new ways of seeing the world. Hare is also representative, as I mentioned, of intuition, but also of some psychic skills, innate psychic skills that I don't think you are aware that you actually have. So I encourage you to focus on that. I'm saying that because Hare is he's a representative of the other world, so he can guide you to learn even more about your own skills. Now that might be that you want to learn a little bit about divination yourself. I encourage you to do so. Hare also suggests that you can explore new realms of being, new ways of being, of living in the world, and of course that will happen for you in the last half of this year with a new job, potentially a new place to live as well. I will also let you know about your birth tree, which is Dewar or Oak, and Dewar is a really important tree for the Druids because it's so strong, it's so steadfast, and it's got quite a lot to do with ivy as well. Ivy is often paired with oak, and together they are formidable. Oak is strong, as are you, reliable and very wise. Oak people, as you do, give of themselves so much and nurture other people. Usually they're very calm. Really important for you to remain calm and not respond when your ex-partner goads you and triggers you for ridiculous responses. You know that you are better than that. Your druidic deity, birth deity, is Dagda, so I really encourage you to Google that and have a bit of a look around Dagda. Dagda is very strong-willed, as are you. And your druidic spiritual birth animal is the wren, that has an awful lot of magical connotations to it as well. So I hope that that has been beneficial for you. The next 6 months in a nutshell for you is just going to be treading water as you have been here with this one here. Keep dealing with it, keep calm, be patient, it's going to be okay. The 6 months after that, you take off. You are zooming, new job. There is possibly a new place for you to live. There's going to be travel for you in the first half of 2014 as well. Lots of things happening for you, and it's just going to be a time full of smiles. I hope that is helpful for you, and I look forward to doing more readings for you in the future.